Join the movement of self-discovery and acceptance. This is where we strive for more satisfaction, success, and peace while eliminating doubt, frustration, and bitterness. Come along with me as we explore human design with real-life examples and permission to love yourself better. Are you ready to go? Hello, hello, hello. Today is National DNA Day, and it has a significant connection with human design. So, in true fashion, with my line 3, I thought we could explore that in this episode. It's kind of science-y, but I'll try to keep it light. First of all, human design and the I Ching explore the polarities in the two types of strokes and the yin and the yang as they're brought together in a 6-line structure of hexagrams for a total of 64 combinations of codons and amino acids. Oh, wait. I did say I was going to break this down a little better for you, didn't I? Let's start with a reminder that human design is a new system that uses the language of several ancient systems. The system I'm going to talk the most about today is the Chinese I Ching, which comes from the Book of Changes, written many centuries ago in China. The I Ching looks at the polarities of the yin and the yang. Are you familiar with that black and white symbol that kind of swirls around itself? Maybe that's not the best description of it, so if you're not familiar with it, go look it up. I'm sure you've seen one before. Anyway, yin and yang represent polar opposites in life. The yin family is fundamental material or something that has mass, and the yang family is pure light and energy. We tend to think of more basic examples in our own life, though, like something that's hot versus something that's cold, or someone who loves to be around people versus someone who likes to be alone more often. There's more science behind this, but for the sake of today's episode, we're just going to stop there. The polarities of yin and yang make up these structures called hexagrams that are comprised of 6 lines stacked horizontally on top of each other. Each of these 6 lines can either be a solid line all the way across the structure or split in 2. Because of this, you can make 64 different combinations with these 6 lines. Does that number sound familiar to you? Especially if you know we're talking about DNA today? If not, keep thinking about it while I describe something else. You can see these hexagrams in our human design chart as the 64 gates throughout the body graph. Those are the little numbers inside each center. Some of yours have a small circle around them, signifying that this trait is defined for you and its characteristics will be a regular part of your life curriculum. You can also see those numbers on the side of the body graph next to each of the planetary symbols. There should be approximately 18 numbers on each side of your chart, possibly making up 36 of those 64 numbers. I say possibly here because some of your gates may be defined more than once in your personal chart. Are you following me so far? This is somewhat difficult to explain without you being able to see what I'm talking about. If you can't envision what I just described, go back and listen again so that you can make sure you can make these connections with me. Okay, so we have 64 gates. And guess what? Each of them has a hexagram of 6 lines attached to it that can be in any one of 64 combinations. Now, if that wasn't enough, let's look at DNA. If you remember from school, there are 64 codons that make up our DNA and 6 groups of amino acids per codon. Can you see the similarities? Hear the similarities? DNA variations are so unique, and after listening to the similarities, I know you can imagine how unique each human design chart is. One of my favorite phrases used by my coach, Karen Curry Parker, is, "You are a beautiful, once-in-a-lifetime cosmic event." It's important to remember that human design is not a belief system, but something we need to experiment with. The more you can try to implement the information in your chart, the more aligned your energy will be and life will be so much easier. Think of this new learning about yourself like sending your DNA swab away to a clinic and getting back information about your unique qualities. Working with a coach or specialist can give you similar results, except that there's so much more to explore with all the nuances of your chart. It gives you detailed information about your personal traits, behaviors, tendencies, how your unique body is here to move in space, the best ways to communicate with others, easier ways to make decisions, and trusting yourself. I think the math and science behind all of this is pretty cool. I love the miraculous similarities between the science that's been proven and the elements that make up our energetic blueprint. Unfortunately, I'm not a scientist, and I don't always remember the exact information to be able to pass it along in regular conversation, but I want to try and break things down for people here in my podcast as I'm able. I hope it was at least a little interesting for you. And if you've got other things you'd like me to break down, just reach out. I'd personally love to know how you're using your unique energy. Until next time, happy exploring. I'm so glad to connect with you today. Please follow the show, forward it to a friend, and leave a review. Send me an email with how human design has changed your life, and I might feature you on the show. Until we meet again, don't forget to love yourself better.